what was your review of the offensive performance, and I guess kind of how it played out to compared with what you expected going in?
Obviously, the result was disappointing. Um, Overall as an offense, I think we did all right. We definitely could have been a lot better. There's a lot of ways in which that we can improve from it, but like you said, it's just a matter of looking at the film and kind of dissecting your own position group. I was really more focused on the receivers. We made some plays obviously, but there's definitely a lot of places that we can get better too.
What does that look like? Like, what do you think how the receivers played overall, and then what's the next step for you?
I think we played with a lot of effort. We were good for the most part with our assignments. I think it's just more of detailing, detailing certain things, spacing between receivers, little stuff like that.
Samori, how did you feel about getting involved in the run game in the way that you did? I mean, you're running the ball.
I felt pretty good about it. They were a man team, which it makes it a lot easier, to kind of get our defenders out of the way, run them off and then get back in front and block them. But, I felt like overall the receivers did good in the run game today.
Could you expand a little bit on what you meant by detailing? It was more about the detailing.
Yeah, like I said, it's just, like the little things. Like I said, overall, I think we were pretty sharp, especially for it being our first game. But when I say details, I mean like little things like the spacing between receivers and our routes, being in a certain spot in a certain time. When they start setting pressure, we might not be able to run our route how we have practiced it. We might have to speed it up a little bit. So it's just stuff like that.
Okay, thank you.
What's been your message, and what is it this week for some of the young receivers who didn't get on the field Saturday, like Xavier and Alontae?
Mm-hmm. I'm just telling them to stay with it. Stay with the program, and I think that's what they're gonna do. Obviously everyone wants to be on the field. But I was just telling them, stick with the process, keep going hard in practice, and they're gonna get their time. They're gonna get involved more for sure. I see big playmaking ability from those two guys, especially. They're fast guys. Xavier's more long speed. He can make plays down the field. Alontae's really quick. He's really twitchy. I definitely see them getting involved more as the season goes on.
Wyatt was up here earlier and said he was maybe a little surprised at how you guys scaled back on the run game, maybe from fall camp. Did you notice that too in the game?
Yeah, I mean, it's just we're gonna run what's working for us, and we try to get the run game going. We had some decent runs, but for the most part, we couldn't really get the run game going. So I don't see why we would stick with it. If we're gonna run what works, we're gonna try to make plays down the field, and it's part of us. We got to make plays down the field, keep the DBs honest, and back them up to set that run game up. So. Yeah, I guess I was a little surprised, but I feel like we're gonna get our run game going here in the next couple games.
What gives you confidence in that?
Just what I see in and out every day in practice. Going throughout camp, we have a lot of good running backs. We have a lot of talent in that backfield, and they're just gonna keep. I know those guys. They're gonna keep going, and we're gonna stick with it. We got to be able to run the ball.
How do you think Adrian looked throwing it on Saturday?
I think Adrian looked good. He looked sharp. There was a couple plays downfield that he was putting the ball right where it's supposed to be. A lot of the time he had guys in his face. He was making really good throws, guys in his face. He was getting flushed out the pocket, keeping his eyes downfield. I think he did good.
You said in the spring you like the culture in this program and we're kind of surprised by losing seasons in the past. As a guy who's just here, what do you think about the fight in this team? What are you expecting from guys? What have you seen? How do you expect guys to respond?
I think we're gonna respond pretty good. I think we're gonna bounce back. I know all the guys in the locker room. They're not gonna give up after one game. It's a game we wanted, but at the end of the day, it's one game. It's a long season. And even from what I saw on the field today, it was a lot of energy. We're gonna bounce back. We're not gonna let the one game decide our fate.
Anything else?
A lot of talk after the game about how some mistakes that you guys made on Saturday were not what you were seeing in practice. Why do you think that disconnect existed? Why did those mistakes happen when you didn't see them on film?
I'm not sure. You know, we definitely shot ourselves in the foot, you know, multiple times, and that's frustrating because, you know, we feel like, especially in that first half, we gave them every point that they scored. You know, we feel like they didn't really earn it on us. It was just more us, you know, not being disciplined, and that's just something that we got to work on, I guess.
First game jitters, or think that could have played anything?
I can tell you possibly. I don't know.